Buckle up, everyone. Today we're fast forwarding to 2026 and unpacking the biggest iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max leaks, rumors, specs, and upgrades. If you just splurged on an iPhone 16 or 17 and you're still recovering from the credit card bill, I get it. But the tech train doesn't stop, the rumor mill doesn't sleep, and the leaks are spicy. We're talking 6 headline upgrades many reliable reports agree are coming, and a few of them might make you want to trade in your current phone responsibly. The second pre-order's open. Let's dive in. Let's start with the part you see first. Design and colors. Because if it doesn't look good, does it even matter? Word on the street is that Apple is shaking up the iPhone 18 Pro color palette in a big way. Leaks point to 3 striking finishes: a deep, rich burgundy, think fine wine or luxe velvet and elegant coffee, or light brown tone for the latte lovers, and a softer, lighter purple that's more refined than the bold, deep purple from a few years back. Now, I can already hear you yelling at the screen. Where's black? Where's white? Here's the twist. Multiple reports suggest Apple may skip the classic black and white options on the Pro models this time. I know when we get black and white, we call them boring. And when we get bold colors, we demand the basics. The cycle continues. But honestly, that burgundy is whispering my name. And from an SEO standpoint, yes, I see you searching. iPhone 18 Pro Burgundy might just be the new space black. Upgrade number 2 is literally bigger. For years, phones got thinner, lighter, and more fragile, and all of us lived in fear of the sidewalk scuff. 2026 flips the script. The iPhone 18 Pro is reportedly getting thicker than the iPhone 17 series, with a sturdier chassis that makes room for what we actually want: more battery. The goal? Multi-day endurance. We're hearing about a serious jump to a 5,300 to 5,500 mAh class cell. If that holds, we're talking real 48-hour battery potential for mixed-use travel days, event weekends, work marathons without doing the airport outlet shuffle. Yes, a thicker phone likely means a few extra grams in the pocket. But if it means I can film, game, navigate, and stream for 2 days straight, sign me up. The thicker frame may also boost thermal headroom, which helps sustain performance during long video shoots, gaming sessions, or 5G hotspots. It's the kind of pragmatic design move that makes a Pro phone feel genuinely pro. Let's get nerdy with upgrade number 3, custom connectivity silicon. Apple's been inching toward full vertical integration for years, and the iPhone 18 Pro is reportedly the moment we see Apple's own C2 or C2X communications chip take center stage. This isn't just about the main processor anymore. This is about the modem and radio stack being built to work in lockstep with Apple's software and hardware. Translation: better power efficiency, faster network handoff, improved signal reliability, and smarter power management when you're in weak coverage. Pair that with the rumored N2 wireless chip bringing next-gen UEFI 8 compatibility, and your home and office speeds could be absolutely blistering, with lower latency that gamers and streamers will feel immediately. By 2026, Wi-Fi 8 rollout should be underway, and having a phone ready on day one is a big deal for anyone who hates buffering lag spikes or drop calls in crowded environments. Upgrade number 4 sounds like science fiction, but is starting to look very real. Satellite connectivity on steroids. Reports say Apple is working toward a Starlink powered solution. Yes, that's Starlink to bring robust global satellite coverage to the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max. This will go beyond emergency SOS and basic texting. We're talking the ability to stay connected in places where normal networks simply don't exist. Deserts, mountain ranges, open ocean, the Antarctic edges. Maybe even during flights at 30,000 feet. Will it match fiber or 5G for speed? Of course not. But the point is coverage: true, reliable, planet-wide coverage for critical messaging, mapping, status updates, and okay, That one Instagram story when you're stranded on a beach. Call for help first, post later. If Apple nails the Starlink partnership and integrates it cleanly with iOS, the iPhone 18 Pro becomes the ultimate never-lose-signal travel companion. Now, camera fans, breathe, we're going deeper. Upgrade number 5 is a shakeup on the sensor front, and it's a big one. For years, Apple has leaned on Sony for main camera sensors. The latest reports suggest a major pivot to a new Samsung-made main sensor, featuring a cutting-edge 3-layer stack design. What does that mean? In camera speak, stacking allows Apple to separate the photodiode layer, transistor layer, and wiring layer, giving the sensor more room to absorb light efficiently while reducing noise and improving readout speed. In regular human words, sharper photos, cleaner shadows, less grain in low light, better color separation, and faster autofocus. And in a headline that'll light up search results everywhere, we could see Apple pair its image processing with a 200-megapixel class sensor. High megapixels aren't everything, but when you combine advanced binning, think 4-in-1 or 16-in-1 pixels, a larger sensor, and Apple's Deep Fusion Smart HDR magic, you get detail for days without the crunchy overprocessed look. Expect richer portraits, more believable skin tones, more accurate highlights, and low-light shots that look like they were shot on a dedicated camera. If Apple also refines stabilization and sharpening with this sensor, video quality, especially at night, could take a major leap. And speaking of real camera features, upgrade number 6 is the one photographers and videographers have been begging for: variable aperture. Imagine a miniature version of a pro camera iris built into your iPhone's main lens. In bright daylight, the aperture can stop down for edge-to-edge sharpness, reducing overexposed highlights and keeping fine details crisp. In dim restaurants or night cityscapes, it can open wide to pull in more light, lowering noise and delivering cleaner, more natural-looking shots without having to crank ISO through the roof. This is not fake portrait mode blur. This is true optical depth of field. Your subject pops, the background melts, and it looks cinematic without the weird cutouts or halo effects. For video, variable aperture means better exposure control in mixed lighting, fewer blown highlights, and more consistent motion rendering. If Apple lets us manually pick aperture in a Pro control panel and tunes automatic switching for casual users, you'll get the best of both worlds. Creative freedom if you want it, simplicity if you don't. Put all that together, and the 2026 iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max start to sound less like incremental upgrades and more like a reset for what a premium smartphone should be. Bold new colors that actually feel premium. A thicker, tougher body that prioritizes battery life and performance. Apple designed communication silicon that sips power and stays connected. Next-gen UI 8 to crush latency at home and work. Starlink satellite support to end the no-signal anxiety wherever you go. A Samsung-made stacked main sensor that pushes detail, dynamic range, and low-light performance forward. And a variable aperture lens that brings true optical control back to mobile photography. If Apple keeps its usual cadence, we're looking at a 2026 release window for the iPhone 18 lineup. And yes, expected pricing is still under wraps. But given the scale of these upgrades, battery, connectivity, camera, it's safe to assume the 18 Pro and 18 Pro Max will be positioned as the flagship's flagship. The bigger question is, who should upgrade? If you're on an iPhone 14 or 15 and you live on your phone for travel, content creation, or work, this might be the generation that makes jumping worldwide. If you own a 16 or 17 and care deeply about camera control, battery longevity, or global connectivity, the iPhone 18 Pro could be the most meaningful leap in years.